Welcome back, my fellow knights, to another battle for Mount Blade Bannerlord. In today's episode, we have over 300 players from the Coalition and BRE forces fighting it out on the open fields. The map might look familiar, but we're about to witness a struggle the likes of which you've never seen on this channel before. So saddle up, because things are about to get spicy. We start on the BRE side as Garamount here form up. As we head over to the Bretonnian cavalry, you can see they're also saddling up, preparing for the battle ahead. In this round, we're fighting over Control Point A, which is situated all the way down the riverbank in the farmhouse. We're following Montfort and Gascony as they head towards the bridge. Closely in front of them is the Heramolt archers. They're not heading directly towards the capture point, but it looks like they might be looking to get a flank on the Coalition forces. We'll check in with these guys later to see how that flank goes. As we head back towards the main Bretonnian lines, we've got Lou and Leoncourt charging past with the Bretonnian knights. They're rallying the troops, building morale for the battle ahead. It's a race for the town. As the Bretonnian forces move in, they become aware that the Coalition have just got there before them. They set up between the two buildings, effectively creating a choke point. Most of their forces seem to be committed to the capture point. Just over here we can see Host, Knights Hospitaller, holding the rear. It's a good position as they can watch out for cavalry charges coming in from the back and defend their allies. The Bretonnian infantry march towards the Coalition lines looking very confident. In the back there you can see the YouTube legend himself, Benoni, leading and shouting commands. It's the calm before the storm. If you look at the Kingdom of Hordaland, you can just make out Jackie Fish in the back lines there commanding the blue shields. And here we go, lads. The Bretonnians charge in. The fight has officially begun. Most of the BRE houses are committed to the main line, but Brion here, followed by Gascony, are looking to get around the back. SVCI, though, see it coming and are prepared. Hosts are trying to conceal their numbers in the wheat field here, but it looks like they're out of position. The BRE cavalry are able to get across the bridge and smash into the back of the Coalition lines. As they move across, Gascony charge up the bank, forcing them to commit their troops. After the initial charge, both teams seem to be doing quite evenly. The main fight here, the lines are still clearly visible. If the Coalition can maintain their battle lines, they could wait for their allies to finish on the flanks and wrap around the BRE forces. Let's see if they can do it. I've just seen Imperium Polski in the back here, cycling round ready for the next charge. They form up and go in. Are the BRE going to be prepared? It's looking like a good charge. There's very little resistance from the BRE and they go crashing into the back of those lines. That's going to rack up a few kills for the Coalition. Ooh, the exit is not clear though. The Coalition cavalry gets stuck in the melee. That's going to be damaging for them. In the chaos that follows, the BRE seem to have broken through. SVCI they are getting cut down. Kingdom of Hordaland retreat into the doorway and attempt to make a stand here. A number of their troops are standing back. There's nothing they can do as there's no room for them in the doorway. Sensing that the BRE forces are dissipating, Jackie Fish orders them to charge out and they head straight into the melee. The Coalition are slightly down on numbers. It's not over, but it's not looking good for them. We're entering the final stages of the battle now, where all players just have to rack up as many kills as possible. It's all about whittling the enemy down to zero. At this point, there's not too much to say. We're just watching the melee unfold. Who will be victorious? We should know in the next couple of seconds. An IPL member has been dismounted. He's fighting multiple BRE troops. Ooh, but there's nothing he can do. He goes down. Against that many troops, it's helpless. And now the BRE are just cleaning up. There's very few of the Coalition left. That's a BRE victory in round one. We start this round following the Coalition as the Kingdom of Hordaland form up. They're showing off their large spears. Remember guys, it's not the size of your spear that matters, it's what you do with it. Jokes aside, the IPL are going off in a separate direction to the main Coalition force. They're going to be doing a wide flank to try and get behind the Bretonnians. The Coalition infantry head into the forest. It looks like they're being headed by Coronis Ibiricus there. This will give them some much needed cover from incoming arrows. As they come out the other side, you can see the BRE banners in the distance. Those forces look very foreboding. The coalition allies arrive. They decide to hold in the forest for now. They're not willing to go out into the open until they know exactly what the BRE are up to. It could be a trap. Let's head to the other side and check out what's going on. The BRE are approaching, but in a very controlled, meticulous manner. You can see they've got archers at the back firing arrows over their forces towards the coalition. Order of the Lake are on the right flank here doing what they do best, sweeping round the sides and causing damage where they can. As we run down the BRE lines, I can see Garamount, Brion, I think that's Aquitaine, Montfort, Mortanel, Mousillon, and over here on the far left we've got the Heramolt archers. Due to the good visibility, they can afford to be out in the open as they'll get plenty of notice if cavalry come charging in. On the coalition, we've got Coronis Ibericus, Knights Hospitaller, SVCI, Kingdom of Franks, and on the end, Castan. Normally Castan fight for the BRE, but they've joined our forces for this battle to make up the numbers. Coalition archers have some great cover here. They've got the defilade as well as the trees to give themselves protection. The coalition are still unwilling to leave their defensive spot. We join host as they survey the land. The BRE are still way in the distance. It's like a game of chicken, both teams trying to bait the other in. The coalition seem confident though. They charge out from their defensive positions. Let's zoom out slightly so we can get a good view of both sides as the battle commences. Again, Order of the Lake doing what they do best here, backed up by Couron just behind them. The coalition have only gone halfway and decided to halt. The BRE decide that's good enough for them. They come towards the coalition. And the battle begins! How many games give you an experience like this? Players go crashing towards each other, jumping in the air to get the first hit. Remember guys, team damage is a thing in this game. You've got to go for those overhead hits. Going in with the side sweeps, you're just as likely to hit your allies from behind. The Kingdom of Hordaland are building momentum on this side, but the BRE see it coming and reform their lines to match. It looks like the Heramolts are just escaping. Kingdom of Hordaland decide to turn back towards Mousillon and engage. On this side of the battlefield, the Bretonnians are heading into the trees. The coalition archers have been left out unprotected. Even if the archers manage to escape, they're being prevented from firing right now. Archers deal so much damage. If you can stop them from firing, you're really going to be helping out your team. Outside in the melee, just over half the troops are remaining on the battlefield. I can still see banners raised for every clan. It looks like they're all still in the fight. In the later stages of the battle, the lines are no longer drawn. All the troops are mashed up into one large brawl. Things seemed even, but if you look at the numbers at the top there, the coalition are dropping very quickly. The BRE do seem to have the upper hand right now. Maybe their troops are just grouped in a slightly more advantageous way. The BRE do seem to have a number of archers still alive that might be giving them the edge right now. And that's it guys. It was looking very even for most of the battle, but the BRE annihilated us in those final moments. Well played to them. Let's move on to round 3. In our final round today, we're following the BRE as Montfort, Brion, Aquitaine and the Heramolts lead the way to battle. The BRE are choosing to stick together as one large force. In these open pitch battles, that can often be a great tactic. They cross the river unchallenged. The Bretonnian Knights do a large flank around looking to get behind our forces. They'll be looking for any opportunity to do a cycle charge. The BRE are now forming up. They can see the coalition forming on the other side of the riverbank. Remember that water is shallow. Troops can move across it at any point on the river. Keep in mind though that the water will slow them down. Oh, we almost missed it, but the coalition do a surprise charge from behind. I can see SVCI, Kingdom of Hordaland and Coronis Ibericus charging in from the rear. That was an extremely good play. I think they caught the Bretonnians off guard there. Well timed as well because the BRE forces are otherwise engaged on the other side. Over here, it does look like the coalition are slightly outnumbered. I think we've got 2 battles raging on either side of the river. Whoever finishes first will be able to charge in and help out their allies. The coalition just need to hold on for as long as possible for their allies on this side to clean up and head towards them. Garam out there are doing their best to fend off that surprise attack. Considering how quickly that happened, they're doing a good job. Just over half the troops remain on the battlefield, the rest lay dead or wounded. Over here, the BRE cavalry still have a heavy presence. They sweep around and go in for the charge. Ooh, and that's going to be damaging. The BRE were at a slight disadvantage, but that might have turned the tide. On this side of the river, the BRE have just about cleaned up. Same seems to have happened on the coalition side. The teams reform and go in for the attack. As the final clash begins, the Kingdom of Hordaland here sweep around on the right. They seem to have some great momentum. They're just charging through the BRE, cutting them down. The BRE have no option but to go on the back foot. They ease backwards as the coalition come crashing in. Moving backwards is not as fast as charging from the front, which gives them a disadvantage as soon as the lines start to collapse. And the coalition just have too much momentum. The BRE can't fight back. That's a coalition victory in the final round. Guys, we're always on the lookout for new players. Whether you're experienced or a newbie, there's a space for you. I personally play for a clan called the Kingdom of Hordaland. We're recruiting. I'll post a link to their Discord in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.